Mr. Meiyappan, can you turn on your camera, please?
Am I visible?
Yeah. Good. Lata ma'am, we can start. Yeah, good. We can start.
A very happy morning to one and all present here. This is Dr. U. Lata, Assistant Professor. On behalf of PG Department of Information Technology and BCA and Infoca Forum, Dwarakadas Govardhandas Vaishnav College, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. I would like to extend a warm welcome to every one of you for the 6th day of 1 week International Faculty Development Program on Overview of Blockchain Maturity Model for Blockchain Technology. It's a mark of our tradition to pray the Almighty at the beginning of any event. So let us all rise for the Tamil Thai Varthal followed by our college prayer.
நீராறும் கடலுறுத்த நிலமழங்கை கெழிலொழுகும் நீராறும் மகனமென நிகழ்வரத கண்டனைகள் அதில் சிறந்த திருநுதலும் தரிதரும் திலகமுனே திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் வணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழங்கே உன் சீரிழவை திறந்தியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே
सत्यव्रतं सत्यपरं त्रिसत्यं सत्यस्य योनिं निहितं च सत्ये सत्यस्य सत्यं धृतसत्यनेत्रं सत्यात्मकं त्वां शरणं प्रपन्नाः वाणी गुणानुकथने श्रवणो कथायां हस्तौ च कर्मसु मनस्तव पादयोर्नः स्मृत्यां शिरस्तव निवास जगत्प्रणामे दृष्टिस्ततां दर्शनेस्तु भवत्तनूनाम् नमो भगवते तस्मै कृष्णायाद्भुतकर्मणे रूपनामविभेदेन जगत्क्रीडति यो यतः ॐ शान्ति शान्तिः।
To commence with, I invite our respected head of the department and co-convener of this international FDP program, Dr. K. Angerkani ma'am, to deliver the welcome address.
Jai Shri Krishna. Good morning. Learning is not attained by chance. It must be sought for with ardor and attended to with diligence. Abigail Adams. The blockchain cannot be described just as a revolution. It is a tsunami-like phenomenon, slowly advancing and gradually enveloping everything along its way by the force of its progression. William Mongaver. Today, I take pleasure to welcome you all to the one-week International Faculty Development Program on Impact of Information Technology in Diverse Domain, conducted by the PG Department of Information Technology and BCA, Dwarakadas Govardhan Das Vaishnav College, Chennai, India. First, I would like to thank our management. Please,
Maunika, please mute yourself.
First, I would like to thank our management and secretary, Dr. Sri Ashok Kumar Mundra sir, for his support. I thank our ever supporting and encouraging principal and convener of this program, the Captain Dr. S. Santosh Babu sir. On 6th day of this FDP, we have the privilege of hosting a distinguished guest speaker, Mr. Meiyappan Masilamani, who will be sharing his expertise on the topic, Overview of Blockchain Maturity Model for Blockchain Technology. I welcome you, Mr. Meiyappan.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah. The topic of blockchain maturity model holds immense significance in today's digital landscape as blockchain technology continues to revolutionize various industries and its potential for decentralized and secure data management. Mr. Meiyappan's insights will undoubtedly prove to be invaluable as we explore the implications of this cutting-edge technology and its applications in diverse domains. I once again welcome you, Mr. Meiyappan Masilamani. I welcome the teaching fraternity and guests. I also thank you for your active participation. I once again welcome you all. I welcome my team members with your support to make this FDP a successful one. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you for your warm welcome, ma'am. Everything will be tokenized and connected by a blockchain one day. Fred, with this quote, I feel immense pleasure to introduce our resource person, Mr. Meiyappan Masilamani, who is the Director of Standards, Government Blockchain Association, Dubai. He is a highly accomplished professional with extensive experience in the field of auditing and compliances, particularly in relation to ISO management system standards since 1998. Currently based in Dubai, UAE, he serves as a lead auditor and client manager at a third-party certification body. Meiyappan's expertise lies in advocating and ensuring adherence to various ISO standards, including ISO 9001, ISO 27001, ISO 14001, ISO 45001, ISO 20000-1, ISO 18295, and ISO 37001, covering across domains like automotive, software, telecom, automobile, education, etc. Since May 2019, he has taken a keen interest in blockchain technology and he has been an active GBA member. He completed the Blockchain Revolution for Enterprises Specialization and Blockchain Foundation course at Government Blockchain Association. He serves as a standards and certification working group leader and holds the position of Director of Standards in GBA. As a volunteer in GBA, he contributes to the development and advancement of blockchain standards and initiatives. Furthermore, he is one of the founding architects of the blockchain maturity model, a global standard designed to assess the maturity of blockchain solutions. His contribution to the field of standards and certification in the blockchain space demonstrates its dedication to advancing its emerging technology on a global scale. With this introduction, now I hand over the session to our eminent resource person, Mr. Meiyappan Masilamani. Dear participants, kindly ensure that your audio is on mute. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Is my presentation, you're able to see my presentation? Is my presentation visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
Great. Okay. So, Vanakkam. Uh,
Vanakkam, sir.
yeah, for everyone, I first of all thank the institution and also the complete faculty who has given this opportunity to be here for giving my or sharing my knowledge, which I have gained during the course of time through the experience and the participations in my particular technical capability. So, in fact, thank you for the wonderful introduction of mine. It's really great to hear. And coming to my thought process. First of all, I'm basically a volunteer. Okay, so I do not get money for this particular job which I'm being performing in Government Blockchain Association, by which I could say that it's a complete volunteer thing for societal improvement. Okay? That is what we have done, and it is not only me. And the entire GBA performs in that pattern. The Government Blockchain Association performs in the pattern of all the people in that are volunteers, and we have rendered our effort and time to provide the societal improvement on this particular term, which is called as blockchain. Is my voice clear? Is there any echo or something like that happening around?
Yeah, I think it's clear.
Okay, great. Fine. So coming into the presentation, of course, I have a wonderful agenda which has been placed. I'll be swapping my screens across. If I'm not clear or my voice is not audible, you have to ping me up. You can disturb me anytime, not a problem. And also one more fact is, since I'm on the presentation mode, I have logged in with my other media also, so I can watch myself. So what is that we are going to do today? So I just wanted to recollect few things. Our team from Government Blockchain Association has been introduced from, I think, day one. On 17th, there was there was a session which happened by Mr. Gerard, who is the executive director of Government Blockchain Association. Then on 19th, we had a session with Mr. Paul F. Dowding, who is basically active member of Government Blockchain Association, and also his particular model has been assessed for his particular solution was assessed for this, but the model which we have developed. So I am the third person from the same group of Government Blockchain Association, and basically anyone who has been following these entire days would have information behind. So how the blockchain started, all those things, and would have been understood on those parts. Considering that as an assumption, so I'm going to start with the blockchain maturity model. Basically, this is the agenda which we are going to go through. And if anyone has a doubt, you can always park your doubts at the end so that we can have a discussion. And I think we have an hour time. So it's already 7 minutes past. So we will have the remaining information to be discussed in the end. If you want me any specific question or any specific doubt, you can always raise yourself or ping so that I can answer that particular question at any point of time also. Let us go ahead on the agenda. I hope the agenda is clear. I'll be swapping my screens even to some website so that you can understand directly from the content which is being given. This particular presentation is to give a quick overview of what we are going to discuss. So, Mr. Logu has raised his hand. Anything specific point you would like to ask? Hello? Okay. So, if you want to park, you can park your question in the last also, not a problem. So, let us start with who created the blockchain maturity model. Then we will be going into the why do we need a blockchain maturity model. Blockchain maturity model is being termed as BMM, and That is how it is getting as an acronym. And what is the BMM, blockchain maturity model? Who are the audiences for the blockchain maturity model? Then the principles on which we have developed this particular blockchain maturity model. Then the core elements of the blockchain maturity model. Then levels on the elements of each blockchain maturity model. And what goes into the BM assessment? Because this model ends up with a process of assessment, and we also score the solution which is being assessed. Then we go into the roadmap of BMM's travel. So that is how we are going to go ahead on today's session. So before starting into the blockchain maturity model, I would like to brief about who we are. So this is standards and certifications working group. So this is a working group, a part of Government Blockchain Association, in which we have around 50 working groups are available, out of which this is one of the working group which has contributed and rendered for this particular development on the blockchain maturity model. And I am really privileged to say that I am part of one of the architect on this particular model, and rolled out with multiple angles. And in fact, if you could see, we had a very huge amount of competencies which have been participating in this working group and representing. So they are from the public sectors and the private sectors. Both type of domains are there, and they had a very good competencies of business management, compliance, and also a few of the participants have developed their own blockchain uh, solutions for the societal improvement. So that is where the Standards and Certifications Working Group starts. The group's focus is basically this group focus on assuring and ensuring the quality, accountability, reliability, and sustainability of blockchain solutions. The group also develops risk-based approach. So what do you mean by risk-based approach? It is something like we always forecast something, and we have considered the development of this particular model. The forecast is nothing but a proactive reaction. So we do not believe on reactive approach. We have gone through this particular model with a proactive approach. So which means risk based. That is the meaning of risk based approach on the standards. So this standard is meant for establishment, implementation, and maintenance of a blockchain solution. So why do I emphasize on the word solution is blockchain is not only mere coding. Okay, so it is something more than that, where it is going to provide a solution for a specific type of problem or a use case. And this standard can and should be used for the assessment and evaluation of products, process, and organization to support the acquisition management source selection. Basically, our approach is not only on the process or only on the product. So it is of multiple approach, where we have considered the processes, products, and the organizational requirements by which a solution can really work for a problem or a use case. And as a GBS Standard and Certification Working Group, we have created this group to ensure about exploring and experimenting to reach up to a level of decentralized autonomous organization. So this is a terminology which is used in blockchain, wherein you may have an organization in a certain way of approach that you do not require to have a people interface, that is human interface inside. Instead of that, we have artificial intelligence interface, and wherein you can it is not that we are going to avoid human interface. It is something like translating the human interface into a smart way of coding, and then making them to work according to that code, and getting the decisions done. So that is something like which will emphasize to reach to a level of decentralized autonomous organization. So wherein the organization will be governed and owned and run by that particular model itself. So that is what is our aim on this blockchain standards and certification working group. Then, why do we need? So now we are going into the why we need a blockchain maturity model. So this basically point is related to there are plenty of organizations who claim that they have a blockchain solution. So when we are trying to understand on what and how they claim, it is very tough to understand. So that is the basic initiation which started in way around somewhere in October and November of 2020, where we started thinking about why how to understand a blockchain solution is really a blockchain solution. Okay, so that is the whole intention, and there are a few there are a few and plenty of organizations who are trying to acquire a blockchain solution. So when they acquire, they do not really feel that it is working on a blockchain solution or not. So these are the few things which made us to initiate a blockchain maturity model. So it is something like standardizing the entire industry of blockchain to maintain a way of approach which can be understandable by both the ends. Both the ends is nothing but one end is the solution provider, other end would be the user of that particular solution or the customer of that particular solution. So who wants their users to use that particular solution. So this is how we started this blockchain maturity model. And in fact, it is to ensure that each and every person or the user gets the right blockchain solution. So for which we started the blockchain maturity model. What is the blockchain maturity model? So this is a very interesting subject where we have a structure. Okay, so the whole structure relies on elements. Okay, so the structure of the blockchain maturity model is defined through elements, and in fact, the elements are having very specific informations related to the product's characteristics and the process. So we are not understanding only the product characteristics, or we are not understanding only the process. We are understanding both placed together. And this model is technology agnostic and is equally applicable to public, private, or hybrid blockchain solutions. So basically, when we went through the solution understanding, that is the blockchain solution understanding, then during the blockchain maturity model preparations, we found that there are possibilities of a private, public, and hybrid blockchain solutions. So that is how we have considered this particular blockchain maturity model, and also ensure that to make this particular blockchain maturity model can be applicable to any type of blockchain solution. So it is not meant for any specific industry. So it is a common platform or a common framework which can be established, maintained in the particular solution. So who are the audiences for this blockchain maturity model? So the blockchain maturity model has a wonderful audience. First is the blockchain solution provider, basically a developer or a developing organization who is going to build a blockchain solution. Then the investors, the people who are going to invest on a blockchain solution, needs to understand whether the blockchain solution is act at the actuals of the blockchain solution requirement or not. Then the acquisition professionals and the customers. So this particular model, if you understand, normally whenever you go for any certificate assessment or a certification process, you will find only the end product. That is basically the understanding about how the certification has been completed. But when you are trying to understand on the blockchain maturity model, it is completely a different approach. We have both the ways. That is, we have the users also understanding the blockchain maturity model because it's openly available. It's an open source. So, and also the solution provider who is going to showcase that he has been assessed on that blockchain solution. So, it is a two-way model. So, the people who are going to use it and the people who are using it can understand the blockchain solution model so that you come to a common language of understanding. What is the purpose of the purpose and scope of the blockchain maturity model? So this is the real purpose and scope which is available in our document also. It provides a roadmap to mature a blockchain solution model from startup to production environment. So basically, our intention is we have some levels, level 1 to level 5, wherein even a solution which is in the startup stage, that is a white paper. Even if it is in the white paper stage, it is possible to have that particular solution being assessed. So that in that stage also you can use this particular blockchain maturity model. Then demonstrate the what a vendor solution can be trusted to meet blockchain industry standard. So basically, the industry standard, blockchain industry standard is translating into the blockchain maturity model, and that will ensure that a vendor solution can be trusted. Okay, so when the vendor solution is being using implementing this particular requirement, then automatically they are can be they become a trusted solution also. So provide acquisition professionals with the information needed to evaluate blockchain solutions. So basically, the people who are going to acquire a blockchain solution also can come and learn about this blockchain maturity model and understand and evaluate when they are going to select a blockchain solution. So the scope of the solution, the scope relies on blockchain application supporting ecosystem. So this scope includes all type of blockchain solution. It can be layer 1, layer 2, or layer 3, which is being built upon a blockchain. There are plenty of applications which are being built upon a blockchain, and there are some layers where they are developed on these particular blockchain. So this is the scope, purpose and scope, and we started with some primary principle on the blockchain solution. So basically, if you could see the first initial states where plenty of people will be hearing about Bitcoin. Okay, so there is something behind Bitcoin, before Bitcoin. So in 1980s, Scott Tornato and one more Stewart started some informations on this particular technology, and they traveled away, and then it has been created into a blockchain maturity model. So here, the trust protocol is the core thing which we concentrate as a primary principle, and the decentralization and distribution. These are the two principles which form the bedrock of the technology, blockchain technology. So a solution has to have a decentralization and a distribution. So basically, decentralization leads to a very wonderful distribution platform. So that is a very important part which requires to be covered as a primary principle. Then we have secondary principles, which are also governing on this particular model. So these two principles are the governing principles of this particular model, where we talk about in the secondary principle consensus, cryptography, immutability. And we have two more, which is incentive mechanism, resilience, transparency. So these particular points, bullet points, which are related to the secondary principle are very much important when the blockchain maturity model has been designed. So, which we have considered during this particular designing stage. So, cryptography, basically, any person should be aware about that particular information. Blockchain solutions use cryptography to secure transaction and records. That is the holistic way to look of a blockchain. So when you look into a blockchain solution, it should have a cryptography technology considered inside. Then the immutability. The information recorded on a blockchain may never be changed. However, a new information may be appended to record a change in state. All information, any appended information is permanently recorded. So what is immutability? It is not that 100% immutability is possible in blockchain. Of course, there are possibilities of mutability. But even if it is muted, so you can always have a record of that particular mutation which has happened. So that is what is called as immutability over here. Basically, whatever information is recorded, it gets a permanent state of transaction. So that particular change or a creation will be permanently recorded. So that is to be termed as immutability over here. Then incentive mechanism. Blockchain solutions include an incentive mechanism to motivate stakeholders to sustain the solution. The purpose of incentive mechanism is to ensure each and every person is getting some value when they are doing a transaction. It may be a value which is transferred during your bank account opening, because a personal self sovereign identity is being transferred, data is transferred to the bank for opening an account. So when you're opening an account, there is a possibility you generate a token, and that token is as an incentive goes into your wallet. So that particular incentivization is to be considered when you are developing a blockchain solution. Then comes the peer-to-peer. So what is peer-to-peer? Very simple terminology is you have plenty of third parties between each other to stop the or to give a confidence of person to person. So to break that, we are trying to have this particular principle which talks about peer-to-peer. Blockchain solutions uses communications directly between stakeholders without the involvement of a third party. So always a third party is required whenever you go into any kind of process, right? So when you go for a registration, you require someone to showcase that the registration has happened between these two parties, so which creates a third party. So tomorrow, if you are going for an exchange, that is any stock exchange, so you require some third party to ensure that your transaction is getting carried over correctly. So when you go into a bank, you need a bank to say that one person is transacting to the other person. So the belief, the word belief has gone down. So to increase the depth of belief, we are having this particular peer-to-peer transaction. So where the peer-to-peer transaction is getting immutable. So once it is immutable at any point of time, you can always go back to the history and showcase that this was the that happened. Then comes the resilience, which is basically the portion as no single entity or event may interrupt or prevent access to the blockchain solution. So this is a very important thing where we are need to have no single point of failure should happen. Okay, so this is a very, very important thing. Then comes the transparency. So transparency, of course, it's a known fact. Any change to the information recorded in the blockchain solution is visible and transparent to all users and administrators of the solution. So transparency is the core thing which is required in any human's life. So if you are not able to understand what is being transparent, then always you get a point of um, not believing that particular transaction. So when your transaction is not transparent, then the interest of that particular transaction goes down. So even though you would have done a transaction, until you don't get the real value into your pocket. So these are the secondary principles, and which has led to initiate these core elements. So each core element has a goal. Okay, so to understand more about these goals, you need to go through our BMM maturity model, which is available on our platform. gbaglobal.org, and wherein we have the clarity about all these things as a free download. Distribution, governance, identity management, interoperability, performance, privacy, reliability, resilience, security, infrastructure sustainability, and synchronization. These are the 11 elements which we have formulated. And moreover, these elements may have a overlap. Okay, so if you find the terminologies are very simple, so you may feel that privacy and reliability, resilience are all overlapping, or some kind of performance and infrastructure sustainability is overlapping. Synchronization and interoperability is overlapping, but the interest is to have a very clear understanding of each element in a solution. So for which we have a separate defined goal for each of the element. And this is a start which we have created on the blockchain maturity model. So these are the core elements which you can see in our blockchain maturity model. And each element has 5 levels. Okay, so each element has 5 levels in the particular blockchain maturity model, and each level is being defined. So what is initial level? The initial level is the baseline level. It represents the state of having some portion of element documented and implemented. For a solution to achieve level 1, there must be some evidence. Okay, so the interest is, even for a startup, we need to give a path, okay, a way to showcase what they have in the mind, which is going to be delivered to the acquisition party or the investor. So that is why we have created a level 1. Then level 2 is a portion where it talks about documented. So we have a concept of solution documentation package. Basically, that particular package will give a brief about how the solution is being documented. Because if a process is not documented correctly, the outcome cannot be consistent. It may be correct, but may not be consistent for multiple level of deliverables. So that is why we need to have a documented solution. So that is where the level 2 comes in the level 2 stage. And then it talks about level 3 with the validate. So this is where a solution comes into a validation stage, where you can say it as a proof of concept, or basically a concept where the solution has a capability to showcase the life cycle of the solution end to end with some kind of example demonstrations. That is called as validation. Then comes the level 4, which is production. So the production is a process where we will find the how the solution has been led to the production live area. So the whole interest will be on the capability of deployment, then its performance to be showcased. All these things will be considered in the production area, where is level 4. Then comes level 5. It is optimizing. So optimizing is a word which is basically on the highest level. So where we have considered this terminology to be giving the maintenance and continuity of that particular solution with a consistent and reliable performance. So that is these are the very important factors on this. And scale of deployment. As you solution is in live, so it needs to scale up. Okay, so it has to scale up more and more. So which has to be managed by that particular solution, maybe automated. Okay, so that is how it has to run. So that is one of the basic consideration which is considered in the level 5. So these 1 to 5 levels are for each element. Okay, so in each element you have all these 5 levels which are briefed and defined. So this the whatever you are seeing now here is just the definition about level 1 to 5. So after this, we have plenty of terms and definitions which have been created in this particular blockchain maturity model, which is being maintained inside the document itself. So if you go to our document, so you can find the terms being defined. So from decentralization till even immutability or any kind of term which you take, it that will have a definition to make the user understand. So that is a very important fact which we have considered on the terms and definitions. So having a thought process of this particular blockchain maturity model, we found it is very common and generic in nature. So when we went into the industries, we found there are industry specific requirements, so which may be differing from one industry to the next industry. For example, we have voting industry, we have gaming industry, we have healthcare industry, we have banking and finance, and multiple number of industries are there. There are some differences. For example, we can quote one key difference in voting. A particular information cannot be linked to each other. Okay, so you cannot have a linkage. For example, who has voted can never be understood by the solution. So that is a very important fact, which is differing from the healthcare industry. So in the healthcare industry, you will have who has been, who is the patient should be clearly defined. So that would be one of the requirements. So there is a difference between these kind of industry to industry. That is why we started developing the supplements for this blockchain maturity model based on the industries. So we have already developed a good amount of supplements on this particular industry segments. And one of the supplement is banking and finance, which has been already released. Voting is the process of releasing, and healthcare is also in the process of draft. So we have multiple supplements which are rolled out after the BMM blockchain maturity model being understood. Then comes the domain specific requirement, which is basically specific to the in the industry. Right. Okay. So that is how we are emphasizing on the industrial requirement also. So our domain specific requirement also. So that is what the BMM model does. Then how we integrate these models. So we have followed ISO 22739, which is blockchain and distributed ledger technologies terms and definitions. So this is one of the ISO standard which has been used in this particular model. And apart from this, we are also aligned with the ACT-IAC playbook, which is basically American Council of our Technology and Industry Advisory Council, which created a requirement for meant for the acquisition industry again. So we have a little bit of alignment on that, and we have also in line to other international bodies. So we keep our discussions at par to each and every organization who is developing a standard or which is keen in understanding how the standards are being developed. So these are the integrations with other frameworks, and we are very much open to any integration models also. What goes into the assessment? Of course, this is the portion where we come to understanding. Okay, once when someone is implemented, then comes the third party. Okay, so where you need to identify and understand, and you have to be given that you have the knowledge or you have acquired the knowledge. So that is the purpose of this particular assessment. Basically, this assessment is not a pass or fail. Okay, so it is basically a process where we help the industry to build the blockchain and improve the blockchain more and more. So it is not merely saying that whether the solution has been certified or not certified. It is that is why we term this as assessment. So the assessment approach is basically a concept where it is to be considered for the growth of that particular blockchain solution. Okay, so it is not a stoppage to say that you are not a blockchain solution. So way of approach to say that yes, you are a blockchain solution. How you are getting grown overhead. So in fact, due to the cost of time, can I take few more minutes, or you have any stop of time? It's are we in the are we on the right time? Because I'm away from your time line.
Yes, sir, we still have time.
We have time, right? Okay, fine. So because I'm in my Dubai time, so I'm just trying to understand on this. Okay, we have some good ample of time. Great. So going ahead, the assessment is conducted by qualified experts. Okay, so as GBA, we pre-qualify the team members, and we keep them in board. And the assessment result is also given a projection in the website of Government Blockchain Association. And this is the methodology what we follow. Basically, a cycle where we term it as planning, self-assessment, appraisal team review, appraisal conference, and rate and deliver the fine. So this is one of the cycle which we follow. Basically, you can find here a very good terminology. That is, one is no pass or fail. Second one, it is team consists of internal and external. We have both, and then a collaborative process. So it is not only a one-sided approach. So the assessment will happen on a collaborative process where it is a win-win situation to both the solution provider and the assessing team. And the goal is outcome achieved. So we want everyone to achieve something on that particular solution, even if the solution is planned in a different pattern. It may appear to come out with a good process of improvement and product improvement to have a solution improvement model. So basically, the concentration is on the solution improvement side. And assessment teams. So the team of the assessors will have at least 4 qualified assessment team members. That is the requirement what we have placed. And we have technical capability should be there. We need a legal capability there. Then the digital asset management capability should be there, and one particular industry domain, if it is industry specific or domain specific assessment. So these are the things which we consider as a team during the course of the assessment conduction. Then we have certified BMM professionals. Of course, Government Blockchain Association maintains a directory of these particular credentials where we have list of advisors who have been listed down. Basically, we start with the consultants, assessors, lead assessors, and also the BMM trainers. Apart from this, we also have experts. If in a particular domain is not getting the assessor qualified, of course, we always have a capability of qualifying an expert on that particular field. So these are the BMM professionals which are available on the website, which I can also give a showcase, I think. And what is the roadmap? The roadmap of the BMM's travel started somewhere in 2020s, and we released the first version of the blockchain maturity model in April 30th, 2022. Then we also released the supplement, the first supplement for the domain specific in September 6, 2022. Then the first assessment which we completed was on April 2023. So that was the first assessment which he executed and successfully completed, and we provided them a level 1 on the white paper also. And basically we have completed 2 assessments as of now, and we have a huge amount of training being planned and delivered through our website. Mostly are online on online training, and the goal over ahead, that is for this year 2023, is to release BMM version 1.1. Basically, there is a possibility that we may have a release on this. Then the release of other supplemental requirements. So basically, that is also in our goal. And one more very specific point which we want to tell us, or we are privileged to say that we have now joined with United Nations, in their Internet Governance Forum, for developing blockchain assurance and standardization. So that is the whole goal. We have a dynamic coalition with United Nations from GBA. So we have joined hands with the UN and trying to develop multiple number of assurance and standardization models for the blockchain industry. So these are the things. I would like to just give a small glance of the website where you can find the links. So let me just share a second screen. Second.
Thank you, Mr. Masilamani, sir.
Lata,
Sir,
One
ma'am?
second, ma'am. 1 second. I'll just share a screen.
no, he told he'll be sharing websites.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, we can see, we can see.
Okay. So this is the GBA website. So the link, I'll be sharing it to you in the next slide. Just where you can find all these resources, what I have talked is in the resources page. It's open to all, and it is not limited to the members. There are few information which are limited to members, but apart from that, this particular page is open to all. So if you browse the documents, you will find all the documents which can be downloaded. And basically, BMM is governed by three documents. One is the BMM requirement, then the assessment requirement, then the overview document. So the overview document talks about the principles and how the blockchain maturity model is governed. This is the governing document. And the assessment requirement talks about how the assessment happens on the blockchain maturity model. And this BMM requirement talks about the exact requirement of the blockchain maturity model. And apart from that, when you go down, scroll down, then you can find the supplements which have been approved. So as of now, only the banking and financial service has been approved. Voting and election is in progress. So maybe in a few days it should appear. And we also have a place where you can provide us your comments, feedbacks, or suggestions. So it's always welcome. So you can write your name, email address, then on which you want to comment, you can select over here and then provide the informations of comments on yours. And we always ask for whether you're a robot or not. So that's then you can just click this send. You will get the informations, and this is where you can find place where the BMM certified professionals are being listed and who are available across the globe. And also the results you can find over here where we display the results of the assessed organization. So for example, the people who have attended on 19th, you would have found Tapestry X, which has been certified or assessed. So basically as a trusted blockchain, and you can find the metadata over here, which is available for the public. So this is where we display the organization being assessed on this particular model. And in fact, this is the dynamic correlation which we claim, and it directly takes to the page of Internet Governance Forum of UN, where we have been nominated. So you can see the Government Blockchain Association. We are basically a non-profit organization. That is why multiple volunteers are in, and that is how we are traveling around. So this gives a clarity about how we are going at, right? And
Yes,
let
sir.
me swap my screen to the slide which I was presenting.
This
Just
is
as a final point, of my presentation. Yes. So now I leave the floor to your side for any questions, clarifications. These are the links which are available. Of course, I can share these links to um, the convener, and you can get it from the college.
Actually, the link, everything will be live in YouTube, so they can watch it. Okay, it's not that we should share it. But Mrs. Neetu has raised her hands. Mrs. Neetu and Shreya Sharma have raised their hands. You have any doubts, you can ask. Neetu and Shreya, they have actually raised hands. Okay, let me see if they have given any questions in the chat box. Okay, any questions you can ask participants?
Participants, if you have any queries, you can ask your queries now.
Actually, I have a question, Mr. Meiyappan.
Yes,
How will you advise the students about this blockchain? Do they have any career prospects in blockchain, or can they do any projects or something? Will you be providing any projects for the students? Because we are all faculties, so we are much more interested in the student prospect. So can you advise the students, because students are also there in the group?
absolutely, ma'am. So basically, for the students, of course, there are few students from the other countries where they are participating to use this particular model for developing the thesis. Okay, so if you are going to have a project, so on what will be the basic where to start a blockchain solution. So if you start with blockchain maturity model, you can understand how a solution can be promoted or projected. And maybe a possibility is if you're going to if your project is going to get qualified for acquisition by any industry, there is a possibility it can directly understand, so when you have the basics of blockchain maturity model elements in your project, then it will be easy for the organization to understand, to acquire your solution directly. And of course we do support in that perspective. Just whenever you are downloading and you are going to use for a project, you need to write to us asking about that, just a small a formal request, so that your project is getting um, promoted in blockchain world, along with government blockchain association. So just a word of mouth to give a clarity that yes, you are using some our model. Once your thesis is prepared, you can always give us for vetting that particular thesis, whether it is in line with the blockchain maturity model. So that will give a privilege and a leverage to your side. And if you are going for any startup models, of course, at any point of time, whether a student or a faculty, if you are going to develop a project also, you can always use this particular model for easiness to understand and reach the goal of blockchain solution. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
No, just wait, no?
Okay.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Supporting
அவங்க கணக்கு கொடுக்கணும்.
I think Mr. Suresh has
sir,
to.
please mute yourself. Suresh, sir.
Yes, sir. So in a blockchain, we store the exact transaction in multiple nodes. Will that affect the storage of network?
Okay, so multiple node is a concept for decentralization, okay, and distribution. So that is the interest of multiple node. The holistic approach is, in a centralized server, you need to have more number of storage. Okay, so when it comes for the blockchain solution, if it is distributed, of course each storage will have some kind of information, but the information will be on the transaction, not on particular to the data. It is left up to the solution to design how they want and what they want to store in that particular place. Because when you are creating nodes, you can create a node who will be able to deliver a transaction. Okay, they are not going to store the data, right? So there are possibilities, and this is a transactional information which is going to be confirmed by the node rather than storing information. So they may not be storing the data. So whatever transaction has happened, they are going to confirm that that particular transaction has been happened. That is the amount of data which may be stored rather than the actual real-time data. So am I understandable?
Yes, sir. I got the
Perfect.
point.
Sir, one question, sir.
Yes, please. Miss Neetu, Shreya have raised. Someone asked.
Shreya Sharma.
Ma'am, one question, ma'am.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
Karunya ma'am.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Who are the key decision makers in the governance structure, sir?
In which governance structure you are asking, ma'am?
General, sir. General governance structure, sir.
No, no. General governance structure means it is for a blockchain solution, or because I'm not getting your question exactly.
Blockchain, sir.
Are you-
Blockchain.
Okay. In a blockchain solution, the governance model, if you're talking about our element, governance element, right? So in that, a blockchain solution has to define who are the governing process owners. Okay. So the blockchain solution will, as a blockchain solution, you need to predefine who are going to be the governing process owners inside the blockchain solution. Okay, and basically the interest of blockchain solution is we do not. I cannot say it is. We do not appreciate human interface. Basically, we reduce the human interface. Okay, so mostly the governance should happen within the code to code. So if I'm going to raise an invoice saying that this particular service has been delivered, you need to give me a payment, then it is pre-written in that solution in such a pattern that if this particular invoice comes with the confirmation that it is approved, then the payment has to be released. It is automated. So the governance happens with the code lines which has been written on that particular information of transaction. Okay. Am I understandable? Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, man. If you need some information, you can always go to the blockchain maturity model to get some informations on that particular governance requirement. We have a governance element as such.
Sure, sir.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Neetu, Shreya, Gayatri, Dr. Anusha, Jyot,
Gayatri,
Aditi Verma. They're all in the queue.
they can ask, no?
Yeah, hello, sir. Good afternoon. Good morning, sir.
Yes. Good
Yeah, sir. The session was very nice and informative. Still, I am very beginners of this this blockchain technology. Sir, I want to ask you: is there any tiny project for BTech students which relates with natural language processing with blockchain? Is it there? If you suggest.
Basically, can you give me the clarity of your question? Because what is it there? I'm not getting that. What is there?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, my research domain is natural language processing. So can I add some tiny BTech project for students? So with blockchain as well as NLP, is it there, sir?
Natural linguistic
Natural
project,
language
sir?
processing, NLP. Yes, sir.
Language processing. Okay. In this, if you want to involve blockchain, you need to first identify what is the societal problem on that particular place. Okay. So if your project is going to showcase a societal improvement, then for sure you can have this particular blockchain technology or a blockchain solution inclusion in that. For example, um, whenever what is your objective of your project? What is your objective of your project?
My research domain is actually, sir, machine translation, right? But some of the basic NLP tasks are, say, sentiment analysis, then POS tagging. So these are some basic tasks for NLP. Now I am asking, is there some tiny project which relates with blockchain technology with NLP?
That is what. So you can, whenever an analytics is happening, okay, you can create a token. Okay, so token generation to contribute to someone, because someone is giving you a data, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Am I in line to your project? Because I'm getting some information from your project, but not up to the completeness. So I'm just giving a thought process. Okay. So
Yes, yes.
whenever you are doing a transaction, you can generate a token which is going to benefit that particular contributor. Okay. So by which you can think about how to inbuild that particular transaction and the wallet creation, so that your project ends with some contribution, that is incentives mechanism, and peer-to-peer also can be considered in this. Transparency can be considered. So there are multiple options in any project, but the effort and time which is being placed should be worth to that particular project. So any project, you can always have some portion of blockchain which creates and initiates some utility tokens also. That is a possibility.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I'll explain more.
Thank you, Rupij.
Any other
Anyone?
questions?
Neetu has raised the hand.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Then,
This is Hansuya.
yes, ma'am. Yes, doctor.
Sir, in the blockchain technology, there lies a security issues via handling blockchain networks. Now, how to increase the trust among the blockchain providers? Because we have a barrier between the technology security and the organization security. Can you throw some light on this, sir?
Okay. So when it comes for security, okay, it is always available in that particular issue as an issue.
Yes.
It's available in any solution. And what is the best way of approach to understand and defer it is, I do not know why you have a thought process that blockchain has a security issue when you are doing a transaction, because in this particular area, anyone can do breach, but the breach will be always known by that particular group. Okay, it is not that it's going to be an unknown factor. So that is where the transparency comes inside and peer-to-peer comes inside. So it is the belief that in a particular network, when you formulate a node or formulate a cluster of nodes, you believe that each person is going to contribute to that particular goodness of that solution and not going to do any breach. That is the assumption made, and we are going ahead. In case anyone does and he starts creating, then they get into a separate fork. So they will not be on that particular fork. They may form a new fork and start working on that. So when the policy among the group is not matching, always there is a possibility one person will start working on his own. So that person will can be traced back to where he started, how he started, and what is his work. For example, if you take up Ethereum initially they had created one particular network that over a period they found there was one hack happened, a DAO attack happened, and DAO, yeah. So there was an attack, and that attack really de-shifted them. But they formulated a new fork and started working. Now also these two forks are live. So everyone knows that there is a problem happened. Now, whoever wants to go to that other network, they go to that network and work around, and whoever wants to be on the original network, they be on the original network. So that is the clarity given in the blockchain uh, technology security parts. So anything, it is transparent. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, adding to that, so who are going to make these rules whenever somebody wants to change it or when this tampering happens?
It is a coding, ma'am. Whenever you are formulating or developing this particular solution, okay, if you have not left any kind of bug or issue, that will not lead to any kind of development. If you have left anything or missed any kind of information during the creation mode of your project, at that time, these kind of bugs can be used to form a new network.
Okay, okay, sir.
And also, there is a very good example. If you want, you can go through. There is a silver line, I think. There is a silver line issue which happened in way back in starting stage where one person used for a drug transaction the blockchain, but at last he was being able to trace because of that particular blockchain being live. So even though a person does a issue or a problem, he may be able to be traced back at any point of time, by which that particular investigation team appreciated that particular blockchain because it was able to trace back to who did the problem, who was the issuer. Yes, ma'am. Over. Anyone else? Ms.
I think
Nitu,
no one is there.
Gayatri has raised their hands.
From the beginning, it's like that. They never ask
Okay.
question.
Right.
Okay, I think we can proceed with a formal vote of thanks. Lata ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightened speech in the area of blockchain maturity model. Now it's time to thank everyone to make today's program a grand success. I request Mr. E. Panniselvam, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Information Technology and BCA, to deliver the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning to one and all present here. It is my pleasure to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of PG Department of Information Technology and BCA, Doragadas Govardhandas Vaishnav College. First, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our today resource person, Mr. Meiyappan Masilamani, Director, Standards Government Blockchain Association, Dubai, for sharing his valuable knowledge on overview of blockchain maturity model for blockchain technology. He has given a deep insight into the topic and revealed some interesting fact that includes principle of blockchain maturity model, core elements, different levels of blockchain maturity model, and roadmap to blockchain maturity model, which are really very informative for faculties such as scholars and other participants. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our beloved secretary, Dr. Sri Ashok Kumar Undra, and respected principal, Dr. S. Santosh Babu sir, for their unfaltering support and guidance. And also, I would like to extend my special thanks to our head of department, Dr. K. Angirkani ma'am, who always stand with us and motivate us. Thank you, ma'am. Finally, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to my fellow workers, coordinators, and all the participants for making today's session a grand success. I once again thank you all for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
sir.
Thanks a lot for the opportunity and kind hospitality during the session. In fact, I appreciate each and every participant because without the participant cooperation, the presenter cannot present completely. So I really felt the completeness. And any point of time, anyone requires any kind of support from GBA, we are there to support you. Just give us an email so that we can contribute on your projects or any kind of supports which are available. Because GBA has around ample amount of government and private sectors who are in and who are doing live projects. So if one of your even there are some investors meeting also happening around, I really appreciate you can go through our GBA events page. So if you go through a events page, there are plenty of public events happening around, which you can even a non-member can participate. So you can always just click and join the meetings and understand more information about the investment part also.
Thank you, Mr. Meiyappan, for joining with us, and thank you for having this FTP done. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Vanakkam.
Dear participants, kindly fill the feedback form which is posted in the chat box. Thank you.